think Memphis was a pretty good football team throughout their whole entire time there. But I mean, the last couple of years, like I've documented, it hasn't been really that good. Now, welcome to the show, Mike Contra. Who you got? How you doing, Mike?
Good. I mean, I guess I got nobody since I don't know who's you picking, but
Well, I just started the picks here for me because Juicy had to come on the show. I got him to do the big games first, and then I'm just working the way around the other games till we get to the big games. So you're just right on time.
yeah, I said it. Miscommunication. My phone was on silent, and I was like, "Dang, can't believe Chief's not calling yet to start the show." And then I look at my phone, 2 minutes calls. I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I got Memphis beating Temple, number 21 over.
Give me Temple.
You got
Give me
Temple.
Temple.
It's a very close.
Temple pulled to win.
It's a close spread, 1.5. I think it's a field goal or a touchdown.
If I'm not mistaken, Memphis lost last week, and they just really haven't shown me any much. So I mean,
Yeah, they barely lost to
thought they
Houston. So
I thought they were the team. I thought they were going to be a great team this year. And they still have had a good season. It's just not as good as I thought they were going to finish. So we'll go to Temple.
yeah, goddamn, we can't. 22 is Ole Miss, so we got to go up to 20. 20's playing at 25, so that doesn't work out. So we go number 19. That whole 20 through 25 is basically all ranked games except Memphis. It's nuts. So I think, yeah. And speaking of the team we were just talking about, Houston didn't make much of a jump like I think they kind of should have, you know. I think if you're kind of undefeated in the system, I think you should have a chance to kind of get up there, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not your fault that you were in that conference. Well, technically it is, but, you know, if you don't think about it, then, I mean, hey, number 19,
Yeah, I
Houston.
mean, technically it is their fault, but technically it's not their fault. If any way you want to look at it.
Yeah, it depends how you say it, how you look at it. But number 19, Houston versus Connecticut. I'm a pick Houston, Mike. I think Greg Ward Jr. has been having a pretty good year, and Kenneth Farrow has been pretty good for Houston. Who you got?
Well, I picked Houston to win last year against Memphis. So I'm going to pick again for them to beat Connecticut. UConn just isn't that great of a football team.
They're
In the past
5-5.
years.
They need one more win to be bowl eligible.
Yeah, I mean, UConn used to be a pretty good team actually. A couple of years ago, they were really good, and now they're just kind of falling off. So
Yeah, it's like a trend. It's a trend I see going on. Teams that were good a couple of years ago are falling off. Look at Oregon, and Oregon, they just lost Mariota so last year, and other teams, Auburn hasn't been the same.
No, but I mean, Auburn has fallen, but they haven't fallen complete. Like, they're still somewhat relevant in the SEC West.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, they're still there.
they're-
Not like
they're still.
Vanderbilt or Kentucky, like just out there. And Kentucky's actually gotten a lot better, but they're not.
There yet.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go up to number 17 here. Let's see, North Carolina versus Virginia Tech. I'm gonna go with North Carolina. Marquise Williams has been pretty good this year. Elijah Hood's been pretty good on the ground. I think they'll pick up this win over Virginia Tech. I'd say by a touchdown. They're gonna be playing at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia. Who you got, Mike Honcho?
I got North Carolina going by 20 points, 21 points.
Really?
North Carolina ran over Duke. If I'm not mistaken, North Carolina had a pretty big win. I forgot who
They did.
who they played. Maybe Wake Forest last week.
Yeah, they something like that. They got
And they
beaten by earlier this year. Earlier this year by South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, this North Carolina team is actually a very good team. It's just they kind of came in a little too late.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with North Carolina.
Yeah, same here. Number 16, Navy versus Tulsa. I'm going to go with Navy in this game. I don't think Tulsa's going to have enough to pull this off. They're close to becoming bowl eligible with Tulsa. They got to pick up one win. This would be a big win for Tulsa in their home stadium, but I don't think it's going to happen. Give me Navy.
When you got Keenan Reynolds as your quarterback, it's kind of hard to go against him. I'm going to go with Navy.
Keenan Reynolds has been running the ball pretty good this year, though, too.
Yeah, I mean, he scored the most. I want to say he's an all-time leading rushing touchdown leader or all-time touchdown leader or something in college football of all time. So, I mean, you can say he's a pretty good quarterback. I mean, I don't think he's a pro-level kind of guy, but he's still a very good quarterback.
He's a good college quarterback.
Yeah.
Let's see. 15's LSU. We'll save that one for later. And you'll never believe this, Mike Honcho. Guess what? Juicy picked against LSU this week.
I was going to ask you that when we got to that pick.
Yeah, it was shocking to say the least, because the last couple of weeks he was a die-hard pick LSU, but hey, I give him props for picking against his team. All right, Chattanooga versus number 14, Florida State. I'm going to go with Florida State. Florida State in this.
Oh my God, Chattanooga. No, joke.
Dalvin Cook, Everett Golston, enough said. They're going to get the job done. And Florida State's got a pretty good defense, and they're undefeated at home, so give me Florida State. Who you got?
Florida State.
Okay. Yeah, Florida State, they had their chance against Clemson, and they did lose to Georgia Tech, but I mean, they were living on a prayer when they played Clemson again in the playoff. They would have to have beaten Clemson to get in, I think. Or have an outside shot, which... That Big 12 race is looking really interesting for the playoff, in my opinion.
It is.
Yeah. UCLA versus number 13, Utah. I'm going to go with Utah winning this one. It's going to be a close game, but I think them playing at home will get everybody calmed down. Josh Rosen for UCLA has been pretty good this year. Utah's defense needs to step up this week and actually shut down UCLA's offense. I'm going to go with Utah. Who you got, Mike?
Well, I remember earlier in the year how I, and specifically a lot of people, had Utah being the number one team in the country. Now I don't even hear Utah anymore. Although I picked Washington State to beat UCLA last week, and I would like to congratulate myself on that one. I want to go with UCLA to win this one.
You going with an upset pick then?
Going with the upset pick, because I picked UCLA to get upset last week. I'm going to pick them to upset a team this week.
That's the way it goes, I guess, sometimes in college football. Let's see. All right, go to number 12. Number 12, Michigan versus Penn State. Jim Harbaugh, and I think Michigan will pull this off. Michigan's having a great year this year, and I'm so happy Michigan's kind of back to being relevant in the Big Ten, because they could very well spoil this for Ohio State, though, because they got to play them next week, and we know how rivalry games are. So, give me Michigan.
I'm going Michigan myself, and like you said, rivalry next week against Ohio State. If Michigan pulls off the win, that knocks Ohio State out of the playoff hunt, but it might propel Iowa into the playoff hunt if they stay undefeated. Yeah,
that Iowa's either way. I think Iowa's in the other side of the division, other than Ohio State, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still
they still got to beat Ohio State.
For them to be able to, for Iowa to be able to get in, they got to have Ohio State lose.
Well, they're gonna play Ohio State if they stay undefeated either way.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be that Big Ten, this is all coming down this week. This week will decide a lot. These last 3 weeks have been very important.
Yeah.
Because they kind of shaped everything into what it is now. This team's got a big. They can very well decide if Notre Dame gets in it. California versus number 11, Stanford. I'm going to go with Stanford in this game. Don't think California's got enough on offense to get it done, which they got a pretty good quarterback in Jared Goff. But I don't think they'll be able to get the job done. Give me Stanford.
And you said a mouthful with Notre Dame. Notre Dame needs Stanford to win this game. I'm talking about needs with a capital N. Because Notre Dame still has to play Stanford. And if Notre Dame could beat a team that's a good Stanford team, and they went out the rest of the year, I think they have a good chance to get into the playoffs. So they need Stanford to win this. And like you said, I don't think Cal's offense will be able to compete. I got Stanford.
It's going to be a very interesting game to see how this goes here, because Stanford, if they beat Cal and they can move up, because they're going to move up if they win, because if Baylor loses, Baylor's at 10 right now, which we'll get to Baylor and Oklahoma State later on, but that game plays roles in this too. It's funny, 9 plays 3, so we go up to 8. Let me see. Oh yeah, Florida Atlantic versus number 8, Florida. Now, Florida's got a chance to get in this playoff too. Don't count out the Gators. They are still alive in this. Even though they lost to LSU, I think Florida will beat Florida Atlantic. I don't think it's going to be much of a game. I think Florida's got the easiest road to the SEC championship right now. Again, I think, do they play Florida State this year?
I don't think so.
Because I mean they used to.
I don't pay attention to much teams besides.
Let me see. I'm gonna go look on Florida. I got Florida beating Florida Atlantic. I think they might. I haven't heard much of it because I think that'd have been a talked about game, you know. Because if they could beat, because they lost to LSU, but they beat number 3 Ole Miss whenever Ole Miss was ranked that high. They do play Florida State. That's next week, actually.
You know what? I want to pull off the craziest thing in the world right now. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it just so if it happens, I can say I did it.
Oh, you
Give
going
me Florida Atlantic.
you going for Florida Atlantic?
I don't really think much of a chance of Florida Atlantic winning this game, but I'm going to pick Florida Atlantic to win and give me the Owls.
The Owls, oh my God. You do realize that Vegas is putting Florida at 31 points spread.
I'm surprised it's only 31 points. I honestly think it's going to be worse.
Florida Atlantic is a 2-8 and 1-3 away record. This guy here picking Florida.
You know what? I think Florida Atlantic could do it.
You're just a dreamer, ain't you?
I'm not. I am.
You're a dreamer. All right. Well, okay. I'll give you that one, Mike. I've heard some.
Dreamer, man. If you stay picking by what the people pick, you're never gonna go nowhere in life.
Well, last week
you gotta step outside the box. Did you ever think Appalachian State would beat Michigan?
Yeah, I never did.
So you know what? Florida Atlantic is this year's Appalachian State.
Okay. Last week we stepped outside the box a little bit with Arkansas beating LSU, which Arkansas wasn't even ranked. But you know, like we said about rivalry games, I mean, I've been right on some upset picks this year, but not very well. But if I have to pick oh man, this is nuts this week. Purdue versus number 5 Iowa. I got Iowa winning this game. Don't think Purdue's got enough to get the job done. Who you got, Mike?
Where's it being played at?
Iowa.
I'm feeling a little crazy. I'm feeling crazy. I'm gonna go with Purdue.
Oh my God, dude.
I'm going with Purdue. Purdue's season has not been going all that good this year. Yes, I do know that. Their season's bad. I was having the year of their lifetime. But you know what? It's going to be that one time that I was just going to think they got the win and they're coasting into the Big Ten championship. That they're going to fall and it's going to be Purdue.
Okay. I don't know what to say.
I'm crazy, man. I'm crazy.
You're crazy today for sure, Mike. Boston College versus number 4 Notre Dame. I got Notre Dame winning this one. Deshaun Kaiser, what can I say? He's been having a fabulous year. Who you got, Mike?
I'm gotta go with Boston College.
You going with Boston College?
You think this is a joke? But Boston College played Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken, last year. It's a really close game.
Yeah, I remember that. That was one of the closer games for Notre Dame last year.
Going with Boston College. Got to get one of these right.
Yeah, this one here. If you had picked this upset here, which, I mean, I give everything up to Charleston Southern. They're a good division. I think they're FCS, if I remember right.
They are FCS.
Charleston Southern.
Never mind. I'm thinking of some other team. Because Charlotte, they're a new school in the FBS, but
Charleston Southern versus number 2 Alabama. I got Alabama, Jay Coker, Derrick Henry, Calvin Ridley. They've been all good this year, and I think they'll continue their winning ways against Charleston Southern. Go ahead, Mike.
Now, would Mike be as crazy as to pick Charleston Southern to win this game? No, he probably wouldn't. And he's not. He's going to pick Alabama to win this game.
All right. Wake Forest versus number 1 Clemson. I got Clemson and Deshaun Watson winning this game. They've had the highest, according to FPI, they have the highest percentage to win out. So I'm going to go with Clemson.
Are they playing in Winston-Salem, Wake Forest?
No, they're playing in Clemson, South Carolina.
Give me the Demons.